Hi, this is Tom from Complete Angler, and today I'm going to tie a Parachute Bluewing Olive. A little bit of a different twist because the post is going to be a foam cylinder, which I do for two reasons. One, obviously, to aid in its flotation, but more importantly, so I can see it in the water. Bluewing Olive is a dark fly, low light conditions. I want to help myself as much as possible to just see the fly. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to start my thread right behind the hook eye, and I'm going to work it back to about 2/3 of the, or 1/3 of the way back down the shank. And the first element I'm going to tie in is actually a white foam cylinder, which is going to act as our post for our parachute. Get that where I want to cinch it down. Okay, work the thread right where the tie-in point, and then I'm going to fold it back and I'm going to put in a thread bump in front of the post just to help that to stand up straight. I'm going to trim the tag end of the post at an angle to help with my taper, and then I'm just going to use my thread to kind of get that down, give me the shape body that I'm looking for. Just building up a little bit of a taper here just so the quill has somewhere to sit. Okay, bring the thread to the back of the fly. Next thing I'm going to tie in is the tail, or in this case the shuck, which is a small piece of Krystal Flash pearl. I fold it over itself so it gives me 2 tails. Tie that in. And then at this point I can also trim the tail for length. I'm looking for a little less than a shank length. That seems about right. And then I'm ready to go. Okay, so next material will be a quill. This is a peacock quill that's been stripped. Okay, I'm going to tie that in. Bring my thread almost to the base of the post. Take my hackle pliers, and then I'm just going to wrap that quill towards the front of the fly. Okay, tie that off, couple turns of thread, trim, and then at this point I'm ready for my hackle. This is a light done hackle, and I'm going to tie it with the curve curving towards me. Tie in the post, move my thread to the front of the post of the parachute, cinch down that a little bit more, pull the post back and just do a few wraps in front. And then I'm going to hold the hackle straight up, and I'm going to take a few wraps around the post, and that will allow that feather to stand straight up with the parachute post, like that. I want my thread to finish behind the post. Then I'm going to go in with some Bluewing Olive dubbing. I'm going to make a short noodle, probably about 1.5 inches. And I'm going to wrap behind the post, pulling everything back, and then I'm going to go in front, and I need a little bit more dubbing. So maybe a 2-inch noodle. Okay. Finish off that dubbing in front of the post. And then I'm going to bring my thread back around the post like that. And now I'm ready to wrap my hackle. I oversized my hackle a little bit on parachute patterns just because I want that those individual quills to help in the surface tension, with the surface tension, but I'm going to make less wraps. So I'm only going to do 1, 2 and a half. Bring my thread up, and then I'm going to follow the path of the hackle with my thread with a couple wraps. Okay, trim that off. Just see if I like what everything looks, and I do. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my whip finish at the base of the post of the parachute. And I am working my thread here to capture any loose quills of the hackle, because I just want to make sure that everything is upright. Cinch it down, trim the thread. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to trim this post so that it really almost looks like a bud right above the hackle. So I'm going to go kind of tight, get hold of that, and just trim it like that. And there is my parachute bluing olive.